Well, I think everyone knows what this is, the Zebco 33 Max. I think every one of us has used a Zebco at one time or another. They've been in business, I think, since the 50s, producing some reels that pretty much every American has grown up using. I honestly don't know anyone that hasn't used one. You know, from the little Mickey Mouse models all the way up to the higher end stuff that they produce now. You know, like the Bullet, that's one of their finest reels. I've actually used it, and I actually owned one for a little while, regrettably sold it, and you know, caught a lot of fish on that thing. It was a lot of fun too. Retrieval rate was incredible, very smooth, and the technology that went into it it's hard to believe that Zebco's come this far. And you know, they're produced in China, which is unbelievable that you can get some decent quality like this from. Of course, I guess it all boils down to quality control. You know, if you have a good American company managing the quality control that's coming out of China, then you're going to have a good product no matter what. But this here, it's a little larger than your average Zebco 33, hence the Max name. It carries 20-pound mono. I don't know, I can't remember what the drag pressure, I think the drag pressure is like, I might be confusing this with the 888, but one of them produces 19 pounds of drag, which is pretty incredible. The drag on this is extremely smooth, and the reason why is because of the way they designed the drag. Pretty awesome. You just twist this to the left, mash the button, that pulls the little line guide pegs in like that so that the cap comes off easy. And like I said, 20-pound mono, and it holds 100 yards of 20 pound. It has a 2:6:1 gear ratio, which is very slow. It is a slow reel, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it can be a good thing in a lot of cases. Depends on what you're fishing for and how. I got the drag very loose right now. But what's really interesting, if you back your drag all the way off, you can pop this, I guess you'd call it an E-clip out of there. And then your spool will come off. And behind the spool, I forget how many drag washers there are. It's been a while since I've had it apart. But I think I lubed the drag washers on this with Cal's drag grease, like I do every drag. But these are very large drag washers, very large. They contact a lot of surface area behind the spool. And that's one thing I like about these. The spool is actually what is having the drag applied to it, not the gears. Unlike some other reels that, you know, well, even like the Abu Garcia's, when drag is applied, then the gears are actually in play because the main gear is what the drag is being applied to where this is like a spinning reel. The drag is actually applied to the spool itself, and I like that. Kind of guarantees your gears aren't going to get shredded. I think this is all bushings in this one. And I like that because I use it in salt water, so I don't have to worry about bearings corroding and, you know, going out on me or anything. It's very low maintenance. At Walmart, this is 26 bucks, so you can buy a lot of these compared to one, you know, higher end reel that might go out on you a lot sooner than this one, as a matter of fact. But they started putting these little plastic rings on here to keep the line from jumping over. I don't know if, you know, if you know anything about the older models, sometimes the line would jump the lip of the spool and wrap around this here after it got inside here. And so you'd find yourself taking the cap off, unwinding the line, redoing. Oh, now that never happened. I haven't had that happen a single time on any of the new Zebcos. This has a bait alert switch on it, so you can click that on and your line, you know, any line going out is going to do that right there. And you also have a visual indication. That's one thing I like too. If you've got, let's say you're fishing for catfish and you lay your reel on its side, then you're gonna see when that line goes out, you will actually see your reel handle turning in reverse. So get a little audible and visual indication of what's going on there. Left hand, right hand, it's ambidextrous. And the way you get into the gears, you just put a flat bladed screwdriver right here and give it a little pop. This back cap pops off. Real easy to pop back on. You know, throw some grease in there. And that's about all you got to do to these things. And of course, when it wears out, what do? You just go $26 and get you another one. And that is actually a rare occasion for one of these to wear out if it's used as it should be. You know, it's not a winch, that's for sure. Pretty much like any other reel. You don't use it like a winch. But if you pump and wind, you're not gonna have any problem. Like I said, the drag is amazing. I mean, it's a really good drag on this thing. So easy to maintain. I love them. It's so simple. And you know, if you're just wanting to go pitch a lure or something and just not have any fuss or headaches with the bait casters, or you're in one place that I find them especially useful is in tight cover. If you're working your way along a bank somewhere and you got a lot of brush, undergrowth, or low-hanging branches, these things are amazing because, you know, it's like a spinning reel. You don't hardly have to do anything to get the line to leave the reel. You don't need much weight. You don't need much of a pitch. And you don't have that line hanging down like you do with a spinning reel. You know, they get tangled in the brush, the weeds and stuff like that. And it's a pain in the butt. These here, the line is contained. That also protects it from UV damage, which is pretty awesome having it under this cap compared to the spinning reels. Grab one, try it. You're not gonna regret it. There's certain applications, of course, you're not gonna use a Zebco for. Deep sea fishing, you know, fishing off of cliffs, or, you know, scuba diving with it. You probably wouldn't wanna do any of those things. But if you're just fishing from a boat or shore, freshwater, saltwater, within its scope of uses, I mean, this is more than adequate. And they have a nice range of reels that will serve just about any application. Like I said, the bullet, excellent for lure fishing, anything where you need a high retrieval rate. And then they got them all the way down to like this. I think it's retrieving like 16, 19 inches of line in one turn. So you got to get your elbow grease behind this one if you want to get it hopping across the top of the water. But there's certain applications where that's a good thing. You know, if you're dragging bottom, or, you know, you need the extra cranking power, this might be what you're looking for. There it is, guys. Hope you enjoy this. Catch you later.